Hello, welcome to my 3D Amuser channel. This video series is sci-fi prop. We are doing a sci-fi grenade for this project. In the last chapter, I discussed how to add details by using a reference from the internet, and we added a lot of details on the top. To recap everything, we did 3 parts so far, so this is the 4th part. So we're going to be trying to finish the base modeling today, and we could start detailing it, and we could take this to texturing. Let's get started. So now I have my mask. So this is where we left out from the last chapter. So we're going to finish the base modeling in this video because I'm going to do 20 minutes. I'm not going doing anything further than that. So let's try to pull this before 20 minutes. Let's get started. So if you see on the top, I'm going to be working on this piece. This is kind of like big shape, so I'm going to break the shape even smaller. So what I'm going to do, I turn my key faces together off, so that what it does, it's going to extrude faces separately. This is basic modeling 101, so if you want to learn basic modeling in Maya, you can check my tutorial. I will have in the video description. Look, if you see here, it's kind of like added details, but I didn't like it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to add a little bit of surface going in. So this is going to add some lights, pick up some light. So I'm going to have some kind of like a dent there. So now it's kind of lips in. I'm going to add a edge loop there. So now if you see, it's going to add some kind of details on the top. So I'm going to make this sharper as well. So there you go. Okay, so now let's add some details in here. We could model from here, or we could add details on the top. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dent on the top, to a suggestion that it's kind of like bolted at the bottom. So I'm going to do this. So let's do it here. I'm going to say extrude like that, and I'm making sure this is perfectly straight. So I'm going to do the same thing there as well. So that is perfectly straight, and I'm going to pull this in. And even if you see, this is not straight, so I'm going to make that straight. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I believe the proportions are close, or if you're not sure, just delete it and work on one side and go from other side after that. So that will help some symmetry as well as having details. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to extrude it. This kind of like have a lip like that. So if I smooth it, it kind of added the detail, but still we want something like this. So if you see, that surface is, pretty good. It's going to create some kind of like a bolt in at the top. So I'm going to duplicate on the other side now. If you see, once you duplicate, there are like a lot of scale values in it. So what I actually do is I do Control D and freeze the transformation. I have a shortcut, so I did that. Or else, if you don't know the shortcut, go to Modify Freeze Transformations. And I'm going to scale it down in X and freeze the transformation again. Because if you leave -1, the normals will be flipped and it will look black on the top. So, so now here, if you see, so that's kind of added like a cool detail on the top. Okay, let's break this surface a little bit. What I could do is, I'm thinking, what would be something I could make this piece a little bit better. You know what? I have an idea. What we could do is we could add. Actually, you know what? So I'm going to take this face and shift delete that, and I have that. So I duplicated it. Still, I have the shape in there. So this is the shape. We kind of like translated into 2. So now what I'm going to do is, so if I'm going to smooth this mesh. I'm going to smooth one more time. So now I have it. So if I go on the top view, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete everything. So it didn't smooth out I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cylinder near. So here, let's say 736. Let's do 36. If it doesn't work, you know, we could go and make the changes after that. So I'm gonna select everything, and I'm just gonna bevel a little bit like that. So now if I go on my, so you could select any one of the 4 axes. I selected that one. So since it's 36, I'm going to duplicate this 36 times. So that's my idea behind it. So I'm going to we're gonna add detail there. Okay, you know what? Let's add a detail from this point to that point. Let's see how we could do that. There you go. So world, throw it in here, pull it in here. I'm gonna hit 8 so you guys can see what I'm doing there. So now I pulled it in a little bit here, and I do. So I'm gonna select everything, and I'm gonna do a bevel. I'm gonna add some segments. So now if I smooth it, it's going to have this kind of shape at the top. Actually, that kind of looks good. Pull this in, pull this a little bit in. There you go. So we can add a detail on the. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this on my all the way around. So how do I do it? So once you select that, delete the history, freeze the transformation, hit X to insert to change the pivot, and X, and snap it to the grid. So exactly in the middle. So what I'm going to do is now do it 36 times. So you say 35. Let's reset the settings and say 35, and it should be rotating every 10, I believe. Yeah, there you go. So now we add this detail. We could make it even tighter. 36. Let's go 48. So how do I calculate 48? So you can grab the calculator and 360 divided by 48. So you get 7.5. So you rotate everything in 7.5. So instead of 10, I guess 7.5, and I'm going to say 47. I can apply. So this is 47. You know what? Let's do 60. So if I go 60, so this is how you rotate the axis by. So 60 would be 6. So every 6 degree you rotate it. So what you do is you put 6 here, and you say 59 here, and you duplicate. You have to select that and duplicate. So now it kind of looks good, but I want to make this skinnier, and to do that you can do instance. So what the great thing about instance is, let's say if you want to make this skinnier, or if you want to change on all the axes, so you select this, you scale it down. So if you hit 5, and I also want to make a little bit of variations in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect it. 5. I'm gonna get rid of my thing, and you could do this. There's a little bit of variation. I could do the same thing here. I'm gonna pull it a little bit up. So now we have something like that. Let's see in the context with the. Yeah, I kind of like it. So it's gonna pick up a lot of lights for sure. Even if I move something So if you want to move, it doesn't going to move because you have to be in the vertices. So once I have my vertices, you could move, everything moves. So you could also play with it like that. You could do whatever you want. So that's a that's how instance works in Maya. You could also rotate as well, but make sure you're on the right axis when you do it, so it's easier for you to adjust it. So I'm gonna go here, and I can rotate it and do whatever I want with it. So I could also go like something like that. So it's up to you. So whatever you like, just go for it. So I didn't like that. Let's play other way around. I'm just playing with two seats to get some cool shapes. That's why I'm playing. But you know what? Let's go with what we had before. So I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna pull it a little bit up. So there's a little bit of rotation in it. It's super subtle, and you can't even see it. It's there. So once you have it, so you're gonna select everything and merge it down. So what I did, I combined everything and put it in one thing. So now I'm gonna put it in my grenade group, and I'm gonna put everything in my grenade group as well. So now if I hit 3, so we're gonna have this kind of detail on the top. It's kind of getting together. It's kind of coming really good now. So one more thing. Okay, let's add some details in here. But I'm going to do on the iris subdivisions, and the only other thing I'm going to do is adding some buttons. That I could do it in the final iris subdivisions too. Let's see, what I could break the shapes with. Okay, so I'm going to break this shape a little bit further. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this vertices and pull it up. So now I'm going to hold on shift. So I want to snap it. So I want to snap it right there. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this way so it's easier. So it's snapping right there. So 1, 2. So every second edge so now it's kind of like having some shape. So what I'm going to do is do one side and duplicate around. So it's the same thing. So go here, and I'm going to delete everything. So we're going to do one side and it's going to replicate on another side. So that it's easier to do it. So there you go. So now I can add the detail. So what I'm going to do is bevel it and making sure the thickness is right. So we could also do in the iris subdivisions, but we're gonna break the surface anyway. Let's go back. So I'm going Control Z because I'm looking for the big shapes, because I don't want to focus on the detail first. So now let's see, where I could add some more details. And this is good. This is good. Maybe we could add some kind of like a sci-fi bolt on top. To make a sci-fi bolt, I think we already have a bolt, but let's make something else. Let's make a sci-fi bolt. So I'm going to go on the top here. making sure both sides are good to go. So once I have it, so this will help to create some loops. So there we have it. So I'm just making this quad. You don't have to make it quad if you don't want, but it's up to you. So I'm going to add a loop and add some loop at the end. So there you go. We have some kind of like shape. No, it doesn't matter. So there you go. Once we have this, let's add some bevel to it. So it's gonna pick, when I smooth it, it's going to pick some highlights. We can make this a little bit interesting as well. So this is going to add some detail as well. So I'm going to smooth once, boom, we have it right there. So let's add it there. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I just scale it down so I kind of see both the details, the bottom and the top. To make this a little bit interesting, pull this in. So go in here, you could see it. Okay, so now you could go here and same concept. Snap it exactly to the grid, freeze the transformations. My Maya just crashed. I think so. I got an error message. So I'm gonna call it a day. In this part, hopefully my Maya saves this file in my crash folder, and if it doesn't, we have to do it again, and I will do it. So to recap everything, we learned the basic modeling again, but I also showed how to duplicate, how to use duplicate special and how to duplicate geometry around the geo. And you guys also learned how to do instancing as well. I'll see you in the next one. And if you really like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And if you have any questions and if you have any suggestions, please write me at 3damuser@gmail.com. Until then, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.